Mr. Ed Brophy, I want to welcome you to something you have never seen before. This is the first in boxing history that you will see this from a sanctioning body and from the WBC, the first of many.
Great.
Welcome to Live on the Green Carpet with WBC.
Yes, the green carpet.
The green carpet.
All
I'm gonna
right.
next time I'm gonna put gold glitter for
Yes.
green and gold.
Beautiful. Wow.
Thank you. Oh, okay. So
Whoa.
this is like the stunneroo, the ginormous belt.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to step behind it.
You please. You can take a picture. You could do. Isn't it gorgeous?
Beautiful.
I mean, it's heavy.
I've never seen a belt this big,
I know.
and it's worthy for all the great champions
Absolutely.
who wear the WBC belt. I mean, it's Jose Sulaiman did so many good things for the sport of boxing, and the green belt represent everything that he did and all the approvals that he got approved by his board and what he implemented in boxing and the safety
Yes.
of the rules of boxing. Fights like this world championship fight are under rules that are implemented by Jose of the safety of boxing, and all the governing bodies and all the states go by many of the rules that he implemented. So this green belt means a lot for boxing. It means a lot for the fighter, who is more protected today than years ago because of what Jose Sulaiman did in regarding his high respect he had for the safety of the boxer.
Yeah.
When I think of Jose, I think of him always thinking of the safety of the boxer, safety of the boxer. So it means a lot. And just to look at his picture here, it's so appropriate to be on the belt. This is a fantastic belt, and it's gives you, just a great feeling to stand behind it. Imagine being a champion wearing it.
Right. You know, the heavyweights, they haven't been in here yet. They haven't seen it. So when they see it, it's wow. But you know, there is something, I know you have, let's walk and talk. Be careful. Don't hurt yourself on the gloves. You are the director of the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
that's fine.
There you go. And
Muhammad Ali was among the first class of inductees. So in 1990 was the first year of induction into the International Boxing Hall of Fame because it opened in 1989. 1990, the first class. Muhammad Ali was among the first class, and all the great champions that joined him to receive their Hall of Fame ring and their plaque on the Hall of Fame wall.
Wow.
And visitors from around the world visit the museum, and just like the baseball fans go to Cooperstown, football fans go to Canton, Ohio, basketball fans go to Springfield, Mass., and hockey and swimming all have Hall of Fames. Canastota is the home of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Muhammad Ali and all the greats were there to receive the ring, the first class of inductees in 1990, and we just celebrated 30 years. And always exciting Hall of Fame weekend and throughout the year for fans that come. But of course, when we ask fans, who is their favorite, and depending on their age, but it spans quite a bit of difference in the ages, and often they say Muhammad Ali.
He was larger than life, and he was the best one to talk smack and get in under your head, under your skin, and just he can. Who is it that said it in one of my interviews? He can kill your mind with poetry, and you're just like, what? What's that even mean?
Yeah.
But
Started throwing punches before the fight.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He was the
well,
best.
let's walk this way. We're supposed to have fights on because usually I ask what's going on here. Vander Holyfield's here in the building somewhere. His daughter Layla was just on first take. Okay,
Wow.
so see, Stunneroo.
Whoa,
Whoa!
look at this.
Like I said, you have the International Boxing Hall of Fame, but
Wow.
the WBC has this.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the first belt?
I've never seen the first one.
You can
Never-
touch it. I
this is
allow
the first
certain
time-
people to touch it.
Yeah, it's the first time. It's the
Yeah.
first time I'm seeing the belt. Wow.
So 10 of them were made.
Yeah. Just to think of the early WBC champions to have this.
You know what? Actually, since I've already stumped you, I stumped Bill Kaplan on this. I go, do you know what was awarded before those belts? This was 1963, so they awarded the champions with a certain something. What do you think it would be?
I have no idea.
Just take a guess. Everyone's failed it, but someone kind of said something, and I'm like, okay, sort of. It was a 50, like a C plus effort.
Well, I'm gonna put out left field. Was it some type of a pin? No.
You're the first one to say that. No, it's a trophy.
A trophy. Well, that's appropriate.
No, everyone says
Trophies are
medal.
for-
Everyone
yeah.
says medal.
Trophies are the traditional you give somebody. So I guess why we all guessed it wrong, I don't know. We should have all said trophy.
But I was
that
like, no, it is appropriate. So Emile Griffith was the very first one to be awarded for this
I
one.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Emile Griffith, and he was among the first cast of inductees, one of the great champions, WBC champion, and but I didn't realize that was the style that he had. Wow.
And the one fun fact about it is that for every champion, there were only 10 made. You didn't get to keep the belt. Even if you won, it had to be passed down to the next winner. You don't get a belt. It's like, it's probably the memory of having that belt.
Yeah. That's how the tradition started, and but I'm sure that as time went on, that was a difficult task to do to have a belt leave somebody's home to go to the next champion. So it was
that's
appropriate
hard.
that everybody got their own belt.
Absolutely.
That stopped a lot of fighting.
Yeah,
There's
right?
enough fighting in the ring. So why fight with getting the belt to the next person?
Yeah. And then this one, now we've started with the green leather belt.
Yes.
Adidas sponsored WBC, and that's why you see their logo.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see the evolution of the letters,
Yeah,
the man, the flags.
In the Hall of Fame Museum in Canastota, a belt similar to this, because this is the era, Wilfred Benitez,
Yeah.
who was welterweight champion, his belt's on display, and of course it's of this style.
Oh, yeah.
So so it's nice to look at that today and to be thinking that a belt of that many years ago is on display at the Hall of Fame. Wilfred Benitez World Championship belt. Yes.
Wow. And then this one, obviously, most people know this one. Even the younger boxers has Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis on here. And then you also see now the flags are starting to come about.
I always liked that, how when they started that with the international flags all the way around, because it really represents the world of boxing, and it's done so nicely. And there's a lot of coloring in there. It's just wonderful. It just represents the world of boxing, and this is wonderful. This is walking down boxing's memory lane.
Thank you. This is exactly what we wanted.
Believe me, this is walking down boxing's memory lane, and because each time when you see the belt, you start thinking of that era, and you go to the next one, and oh, that was another era. So the one behind you was history. It's like. So you keep moving along, time moves, and history is behind you.
Yeah.
And this is exactly showing how the different belts, had to change over years for different reasons. They changed, and that's good. The WBC has kept up with time, providing the boxers the most unique belts that they could possibly put out compared to the belt they had before. And it just shows how things get modern and things get added. And there was no pause in between. There was, when time was ready to change, WBC changed with the times and saying 2 steps ahead.
Absolutely. And so now we come to the one that's starting to become like the new belt. But I'm going to ask you this question. Do you know why Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis are on that belt and that belt? And Joe Louis has never won. I mean, he's never been a WBC champion, but do you know why they're on those belts?
Well, 2 great champions.
You got it, right
You've
there.
got to, when you think of WBC, you think of greatness, and so you would put 2 great champions pictures on the belt to say, if you win this belt, you're a champion of champions, and you're equal to the great champions that were once before. And Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis were great champions, so everybody admires to be a great champion. So it's appropriate that their pictures were selected to be on the belt.
Well, you know what's funny for this particular belt, so whoever Manny fought or anybody, say in the welterweight division, it wasn't the 2 fighters that were fighting. It's those 2 or the 2 best in that division. So if Manny and Floyd were fighting, for this belt, it would be 2 of the boxers that they voted for. So imagine winning a belt and your face is not on it.
Yeah. Well,
I would just put like a little Polaroid.
That's right. Well, winning the belt is the key.
It's the key.
That's the key.
It's the key. And then now we're starting. Now Jose Sulaiman is on this. He has helped partake into obviously the starting of the belt, but now I go, did you guys put him? Did he put himself on there? He's like, no. There was a committee, but no, as he should be on there.
Yeah, he should be on there.
He should be on there.
Jose would be one who would say, no, not me, it's for the boxers.
Yes.
So, but the time came when it's appropriate that others chose that his picture should be on there, and it's appropriate because, he created an organization that developed internationally. And again, going back to the safety rules that he implemented, that all other organizations and governing bodies follow. And it's just a great contribution of his dedication to the sport, to the health of the fighters. That was always the key at all his conventions and everything he did. His mind was always on the health of the fighter. And to this day, boxing is a safer sport, better sport than it was because of the different rules that he put in. Went from the 15 rounds down to the 12 rounds, the 4 ropes, the 3 ropes to 4 ropes. The thumbs that are tied, laced to it, and so many more different rules and regulations. You go on. And then his seminars every year at the conventions, he made sure that everybody went through the seminars for the rules and regulations, and then the safety aspects with the doctors. He was always focused on the health, and so very well rounded, for the good of the sport, for the good and the safety of the fighters. And to this day, all those things, although Jose, we miss him, he's gone, his spirit's with us, but all his rules and regulations are solid, set in stone that everybody follows around the road in boxing. So that's a great tribute to a person who can do that in life, to give so much in life, and when you're gone, those things are helping other people day and year after year and decades after decades. So a great contribution. His picture definitely deserving to be on there and should be on there. And the WBC belt's a beautiful belt. Each belt has been beautiful from the first one, but they get more and more beautiful as they come along.
Now this is the new belt. Besides, don't look at these. Do you see any? There's two significant differences from that to that. Can you? Maybe the first one you'll get. The second one I'm gonna have to help you because you'll be here.
Yeah, you are. Well, this is they both look so beautiful. I'm trying to pick out why this one has something a little bit more. I think I'm gonna need your help. What is it?
Let's see. Two Brothers was, I believe, inducted in the boxing International Boxing Hall of Fame, I believe, last year. One of the tall, big brothers.
Oh, the Klitschkos.
Yes. Oh, okay. So we have Ukraine here, and it's all it owed to them, and also Kazakhstan because of Loma Usyk.
So you were expecting me to, with all
this one, not this.
With all these different flags, and you were expecting me to find 2 flags.
Well, the flag is here.
Yes.
The other one is here. That's why I said I'm gonna have to help you on the second one.
Yes. But I'm glad you gave me that challenge, although I couldn't answer. But now it's so obvious, I see it, and it's so appropriate. It's so appropriate, and that's again the WBC, does all the appropriate things at the right time when it's needed. 2 steps ahead, the WBC. So it's a wonderful walk down of the history of boxing and the history of the belts that were presented. It's a great layout. I'm glad you've done it. I'm hoping other people keep seeing it because not only is it beautiful, but it's so educational. The way you walked down that walk, you really shared a lot of good information that I was comprehending as I was going along to stay with you, because a lot of it I've known, but you added a lot of nice little things that kind of brought out a little bit more of each one, and that's good. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled.
Because even as a fan, when I went to Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, I co-hosted it last year.
Yeah.
So when I actually went to the museum, you get to see all the fighters, their robe, all of their stuff, and you're thinking, wow, I remember this about this. And then even when fighters come in, young prospects or champions, but they're not WBC champion, they look at it and we're like, oh my God, like they're just like, wow, like I want that belt. And they're like, this is the belt I strive for. I'm happy I was able to give you a tour because I know I haven't been to the New York one, but
I'm gonna get you out there because I'm sure you'll enjoy it, and fans will enjoy seeing you, and definitely the tour you gave me down you should be a tour guide and a
Or I can
representative
also
being very much involved in the whole
co-host
thing.
your show.
Oh yes,
I'm putting my resume in for my show, your show. Yeah.
You're great at what you do,
Thank
and you're
you.
great with a microphone, and you're very professional. We'd love to have you someday to
Oh,
play a
thank-
part with the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
And now also, you just named your. A lot of people don't know how many names are put out for every person to vote for. And then how many do they get to select, and how many do you guys induct? A lot of people don't know this.
Yeah, well, in the modern category, this year's inductees is Sugar Shane Mosley, Bernard Hopkins, and Juan Manuel Marquez. And the three women, the first time
I know,
female
I'm
boxers going in the Hall of Fame, on the Hall of Fame wall. It's all being done now, and the rings are being designed. It's going to be a great moment in time. But Christy Martin, Lucia Riker are the two in the modern category. And the trailblazer category is Barbara Bruddock, who fought in the 1950s. She's 90 years old. She'll be there.
No
She's
way,
excited. So
really?
she, as a trailblazer, will be on that bandstand to be among the first female boxers to go in the Hall of Fame. And when she gets her ring and delivers her speech, it's going to be a moment in time for the sport of boxing. And it's going to be a great turnout of returning Hall of Famers, great turnout of fans from around the world. It's June 11th through the 14th, and Canastota welcomes everybody. And but each year the voting goes out to over 200 voters of boxing writers, historians from around the world, and those ballots go out in October. And in November, all the ballots are back to a CPA firm. And December of every year is the press conference. And then in June is the big induction weekend. So this is the 31st annual one, and it's going to be an exciting one, and we welcome everybody to come. And WBC has always been very supportive in the growth and the development and in the displays of the Hall of Fame, and we very much appreciate that. And it's another way that WBC helps out and supports so many different organizations for so many good things. And so many great things have spun off from the WBC, not just in the ring, but outside the ring, those who are associated with the sport. And it's very kind of the WBC to be supportive in the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you got to take a quick tour. I had to pull you away from outside, but I gave you, you got some.
This is the place to be.
This is the place to
This
be.
is the place to be, exactly.
This is.
The green carpet. What it really, it says it all. So I'm very glad to have been here, and I'm definitely encouraged some other people to stop in and see it. Great job, great work for the WBC. And I just want to say that as I leave this room with thinking of not just the WBC organization, but I leave this room thinking of Jose. Jose was a special person for the sport of boxing. And if you took somebody's heart that loved something and wanted to make something happen for the sport of boxing, you take the heart of Jose Sulaiman and you say, this is what is the heartbeat of boxing. It's a heart that cares about boxing. It keeps beating boxing, and it spreads love around the world of boxing. So I think of Jose Sulaiman when I'm in this room, and I think of him when I'm in the stadium. And with the big fight coming up, definitely he's with us in spirit, because it's a WBC championship. All the rules and regulations he implemented, and it's going to be a great fight, a WBC championship fight. And definitely Jose will be in our spirit. He was one of the best, and I should say perhaps the best. And but a heart of gold and a heart of boxing.
You know what? I can't even top that. Thank you so much. That was I'm tearing over here. But thank you, and and if you get bored, come on back, because
Definitely will.
Where did the belt go? I'm like, whoa, where did the ginormous belt go? What? Nancy, where's the belt? I was like, where's the belt? Well, I was like, someone just walked out with it.
It'll be back.
All right, well, thank you
Good.
so much.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
it.
And looking forward to bringing you to Canastota to help some of the MCs.
Yeah, I will.
Yes,
I know
okay.
I study and I know my history. All right, guys, thank you for
All right.
tuning in.
Great.
Thank you. Oh, that was fun.
Good.